It's good to be back.
We are back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Sci-Fi September on
Quiet in the Back. Yeah, Sci-Fi September's rolling on down the tracks.
That's right. Week 4, big old train.
We've rolled into the station, undocked, and gotten aboard a new train.
Yeah.
Called The Matrix.
Yes, a little simulacrum simulation.
Simulacrum.
Yeah.
So many interpretations to go through.
Yeah, no shit. I'm glad you wrote them down.
I wrote down some things.
Yeah, no, me too.
Not nearly all.
No, it's just there's no way we can even cover all of them in this podcast.
Each single interpretation of this movie probably justifies at least like a 30-minute conversation.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do that today.
Oh, definitely not.
But I think we can do 5-10 minutes here and there on each of the interpretations and different ideas. And still come in around the hour mark.
Yeah, 100%.
We won't bore you with the plot because you have seen The Matrix.
If you have not seen The Matrix, I am so you know?
It's because you're a worker bee and you need to unplug.
That's right. You need to let go.
You are a slave, Neo.
Oh.
So 1999.
Yeah.
The genre is what word did we come up with? Cybercore and it's like the intersection of breakbeat EDM, like drum and bass with like hacker 90s hacker shit.
Computer time, dude.
It's peak 1999.
Yes, a beautiful dystopian sci-fi computer cybercore fucking
cybercore computer core.
Yes, it's magical. It's a fantastic movie.
Starring Keanu Reeves, of course. Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity. Hugo Weaving is Agent Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
And Joe Pantoliano as Cypher.
The bitch.
The sleazebag. The betrayer.
The fucking scum rat. We got directed by the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah, I've never known if you pronounce the CH as a CH or a K.
Yeah.
I've always just said Wachowski.
Yeah.
I assume it's like Polish, but I don't know.
Whatever, yeah. The
Wachowski sisters, formerly known as and credited in this movie as the Wachowski brothers, they wrote and directed this story and film, and they are trans, male to female, and this is something that like most people at the time watching had no idea of, including myself. But in later interviews after they transitioned, they have talked about this, how much of the ideas sort of contained in the movie and the themes and some of the symbolism is directly inspired by their transition times in their life, the feeling that you have of being sort of trapped in a false reality, and then of sort of choosing a new path and waking up and then living like a new life.
Yeah, I mean, it like looking back through that lens, watching the movie, totally feel it. You know, you can for sure pick up on like the ideas of transformation and not the red pill being this stupid incel bullshit, but just like you know, a true like
the
awakening.
Idea of making a choice to change your life and the fact that it mirrors their in real life pill regimen for what estrogen
hormones,
it would be a hormone treatment.
Yeah.
So they were taking pills in real life, so it's like becomes this symbolic object of choosing.
Of course. It's so ironic to me that it's become this symbol of like fucking incel, right-wing, red pill hate. It's like
it's because they
just don't look at a movie analyze it at all. It's you take this one or that one.
It comes from you reference it at the top, and no, I haven't read these books, but there's a book called The Simulacrum and Simulations, and it goes into this well, I think it's actually a different book, but the same authors, it's like two guys that work together. They've written about how occultism, occult thinking, leads to fascism, and how when you sort of start replacing like concepts of truth with these subjective evaluations of truth, it just can very easily go from, flat earth theory to 9/11 was an inside job to the Jews run Hollywood
to lizard people
to the deep state and Obama are framing our boy and
our boy. Let's go.
But there's this concept of like in fascism and in occultism of the other. You have to create like the group of people that represent the opposite of your ideology, against which you can juxtapose yourself to help sort of embed yourself in a narrative.
Of course.
Right?
And, it strengthens that bond between the people that you find as your like companions or comrades or whatever in hating someone else.
Yeah.
And making the other more palpable. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just point at them and be like, you're living in a false reality, and I know the truth. Fake news.
Fake news. Has me excited to watch Starship Troopers next week, because that also dives into the ideas of fascism quite a lot, And
propagandizing people.
You gotta kill those bugs.
The power of narrative to change perception.
Yeah. I had only ever heard of simulacrum simulation from a magic card before this. Before you
magic.
told me that.
Ironic. Occult symbolism.
I know. Terrible magic card. Not a very good card at all.
Well, the real world in the Matrix is also pretty terrible. So waking up is a questionable decision.
It is.
Wake up, sheeple.
Wake up.
Come be poor with us and eat oatmeal on a bad ship.
Eat the goop. Wake up.
There's like 7 people here and none of them are cool. You want to live this life?
You'll never get laid again.
Okay, so what are the main themes of this movie?
There's a lot of main themes in this movie.
The big ones are free will.
Yeah, absolutely. Fate and free will.
Right. The concept of reality. In terms of like metaphysics, there's a whole metaphysical discussion of real versus artificial.
Yeah.
How do you make that determination? Can you make that determination? If you can, does it actually mean anything? Like, is it a significant determination? So that's a whole conversation.
The AI dystopian, apocalypse aspects of the themes, and like
that's obviously a big part of this movie. I do think that just because we watched Terminator 2 so recently, and what did we just watch? Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think we should commit too much time of this episode talking about dystopian future and AI and robots.
Definitely not. I think if we are to talk about it at all, it should be more centered around the hyper-capitalist aspects of it,
Of oppression and ideology.
Absolutely.
A control system.
Yep, that's one of the big things I wrote, is the system is against you.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. And then, of course, like all the biblical subtext going on.
Yeah. I thought that's a really interesting aspect to the movie. There's a few sort of subtexts, like you said, especially early in the movie, that sort of like, I don't know how much to read into them. I kind of feel like they're just there to be interesting, to provide intrigue.
Certainly quite a few of them. The rebirth scene, literally being clawed out of the water and pulled into the light. I thought that was really on the nose.
Yeah, so there's the Jesus Christ thing. There's like the religious symbolism. There's also the Alice in Wonderland White Rabbit thing. And they do briefly mention it, but I'm going to sort of lump this in with Alice in Wonderland, the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. They reference the Wizard of Oz.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
Kansas is going bye-bye. Yeah. Buckle up, Dorothy. That's just sort of a throwaway line, and I think it's just like a pop culture reference.
Yeah.
But it just references the fact that there's this concept of it being a dream world, like you're asleep and now you're waking up.
I mean, Morpheus' own name is the god of dreams. You know, there's
morphine. Comes from the same root.
Yeah, I mean, there are layers.
Yeah, but I think the most interesting one, and the one that has the most like meat on the bone, I guess, is the religious subtext. First of all, his name is Neo. And that is an anagram for the one, obviously. And on his door, his apartment number is 101, which is the one, but it's also like binary code. So he's like the computer. He's like the digital Jesus.
That's right. That's a fun name.
In the first interaction with that guy who is selling whatever he's selling him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a hacker program or whatever.
The computers.
Someone's data analysis.
Time to focus on computers.
Access.
Analysis. God, dude, what movie is that?
Grandma's Boy.
Oh my God, it's so good. Need to refuel substance. Eat sashimi. So good, dude.
The guy looks at him. He's like, you're my personal Jesus. No, he goes, you're my savior, man. My personal Jesus Christ. Very on the nose, but setting up the whole concept that's in play. Trinity is obviously a reference to the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And multiple times they reference this idea that Neo the one has come before, he's died, and now he's coming again in the form of this new Neo, Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
So it's like a second coming of Christ symbolism.
Yeah.
And then even again at the end of the movie, he actually dies in the Matrix and is revived for a second life. So I guess it would be his like third life.
Through Trinity too.
Right. So Trinity says the Oracle told her that the man she would fall in love with would be the one. And she's like, I love you, Neo, and kisses him. And then that breathes life back into him after he died. So with this whole Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit metaphor going on, it's like his first life, he was Jesus. And then he got the Holy Spirit and literally transcended into becoming God.
Yeah.
And once he's in God form, he can like stop bullets. He can fly.
Yeah.
He can go into Agent Smith and like eradicate him from within.
He can put one hand behind his back and go really fast.
Nonchalant. He can do a throat chop without even blinking. So, yeah, there's a lot of that symbolism in the movie. I really just don't know how important religion is to the Wachowski sisters.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that it's a deep theme, but it's certainly omnipresent throughout the movie. Yeah. And I think there is this running motif of like faith as well.
Yeah.
Morpheus has faith, and it takes Neo adopting the same sort of like level of belief in himself as Morpheus for him to become the one. Mm-hmm. So this idea that like religious faith can, I don't know, power you up to free yourself and become enlightened or unshackled of the chains of like doubt and insecurity.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if it's necessarily just the religious faith aspect. More so, I guess I also just always took it as more like faith in yourself, the decisions that you make, or you know, the choices you make.
How strongly do you believe that you are the Messiah?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's the power.
Do you believe in yourself strongly enough to forego your society's rules and conventions and go shoot up a bank lobby? Because Neo does.
Way too many guns.
We need more ammo.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
Yeah. So let's get through maybe just like let's talk about the technicals of this movie first and then get into those deep philosophical themes because those are going to take up a chunk of time.
I agree. I mean, they'll probably take up most of the time.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I even am down to get the rating out of the way. This a 10, baby.
This is a 10.
Obviously, it's a 10. This is a Matrix.
This is an obvious 10.
Yeah.
Early rating.
Yeah.
Alert.
Yeah. But no, technically, this is a near flawless movie. It's so ahead of its time in every single capacity. The direction, the costume design, the set building, every single aspect of this movie is top tier, top notch. I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah. Flawless, incredible visual effects, the invention of bullet time.
Yeah.
Talk about an innovative technique that has been copied over and over and over.
Yeah, now it's used to shit.
Yeah. The action sequences are masterfully choreographed and very fun. Impressive use of like epic slow motion.
Yeah.
The composition on all those slow motion shots are just so cool.
Just on the edge too of being too much, but it's not.
It's not.
Just enough.
It's just like it feels so right.
Yeah, it really does.
Great acting from everyone in this movie.
Dude.
Especially Agent Smith, in my opinion.
I fully agree. I mean, he, especially once he like has Morpheus and he takes him by the fucking head and takes off his glasses and his earpiece. And
he smells his sweat. His hatred is so palpable.
Oh, God, I know. It's so good. It's bone chilling, man. Yeah. I love it.
Cool and good use of music.
Yeah.
It is sort of like a time capsule piece where the music is very 1999.
Yeah, you get some Rob Zombie,
a lot of drum and bass.
Yeah, some fun like break beats. You
get a little Rage Against the Machine at the end. And great directing. All the shots, all the camera movements, really fluid, really help tell the story.
Dude, totally agree. It's so flawless. Oh, man. That one shot where he's shooting out of the helicopter, and it's just his boot and the fucking bullet casing's falling down. Oh,
so good.
God, I love it, dude.
Yeah. Do you have any criticisms of this movie before we dive into the conceptual stuff?
I guess so, but they're so light that it's just like it doesn't detract from the 10 at all.
For me neither. I have two things, but it's still a 10.
Yes. The slight lull I do tend to generally get just a touch bored around the Oracle. It's just like, that's just the build up to it. It's not boring, and I think it is mostly contributed to the fact that I've seen this movie like 80 times.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
So many times. We had it on DVD when I was a kid. It was my favorite movie. I've seen it so many times, more than probably any other movie. So when it's not like really quite engaging, I'm like, okay, I've seen this before, Other than that, not really.
The dialogue is too quiet compared to the music and sound effects throughout most of the movie.
True. Yeah, the mixing is a little rough.
The mixing is not great. Yeah. So this is one of those movies where you have to like turn it up, turn it down, or use subtitles, which we did both.
Or just suffer.
Yeah, or
just
suffer.
Keep it loud as fuck.
Pretend you know what's going on when you actually can't hear the whisper level dialogue.
Yeah, or just have it loud as fuck. I don't know. We have crazy surround sound on the TV that I always watched that, so I could always hear it fine. But that's that is not the majority of people. Have fucking 11.1 surround sound and all that shit.
My only other criticism is just in the sci-fi, the setup, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just kind of dumb, and I think I expected better of the Wachowski sisters from the writing. They say that humans blotted out the sun because the machines were solar and dependent on solar energy, and they thought maybe that would kill the machines.
Like as a last resort situation.
Right, which I understand the sentiment and like the draw of writing that into your story, but the reality is that all life on Earth is dependent on the sun, including all of the food that humans need to live. So trying to block out the sun to kill your enemies is just incredibly stupid. It would just also kill all life on Earth.
Yeah.
And the fact that they don't address that, they just sort of like say it and expect you to accept it as reasonable. That's stupid.
That is a little bit rough. It could have been just a little bit cleaner.
Just come up with a different... It's just like one line of storytelling. You can say a different line. It doesn't need to be you blotted out the sun, right?
Yeah.
Just spend half an hour more and like come up with a better line. And then they also say that the machines harvest and they use the humans as robots, as batteries. And there's just a fundamental conservation of energy problem with that.
Yeah.
Humans require more energy input than they give output in the form of food calories. So yes, our bodies can produce like heat and kinetic motion energy, but only by burning calories.
Yeah.
Only by having more calories than we're spending. So the food that the machines are feeding to the human bodies in the form of that liquid is more calorically expensive than what they're getting from the human bodies in terms of becoming batteries.
But they have infinite food.
How? They blotted out the sun.
Well, they
don't have any
They grow the babies, Patrick. Right? They have
there's,
the fields, endless
just
fields.
A fundamental physics problem with the setup of this movie.
Yeah.
From a story perspective, which if they just addressed those two things, then the story would work.
Yeah. But like we said, not game changing.
Right. In terms of my enjoyment of the movie, I blow right past that shit.
Yeah.
It's still a 10 for me.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I love all of the conceptual stuff that's contained within it. Not to mention, I just love the cinematography. The action is just so fun. So,
and yeah, you already touched on the acting, but yeah, my God, dude, Morpheus, Keanu. Right. I mean, it's all top tier acting.
It's great. But if you're a curmudgeon, I could see how the hard science not panning out can kill part of the. I could understand giving it a 9 if that's a deal breaker for you.
Yeah, but
it's just not for me.
Nah.
Do you want to talk about reality?
Try my best. Try my best, Patrick.
It's a really big topic.
It is.
We're not going to be able to sort of go through the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy on the subject and educate the listeners on every single aspect of this branch of philosophy because it's huge.
Of course, I will be the first to admit that I am uneducated when it comes to this.
That said, I think it's the type of thing that everyone from time to time spends a little bit of time thinking about in their personal life. And I think it's something that spurs the imagination easily, and conversation can flow even if maybe you miss details here or there or say something the wrong way, whatever. It's just the kind of big picture conversation that humans love to have.
Of course.
And it's worth having even at the amateur level. You don't have to be a trained philosopher to get benefit.
Good deal.
That said, you do have to be a trained MAGA enthusiast to get red pilled by this movie from the flat earth comment section.
No shit, dude.
Is that your reality?
What reality do you want to live in?
So this movie poses a very simple conceptual schema, let's call it. There are two worlds.
Yeah.
And one is a digital world generated by computers, aka a simulation.
Yes.
And the simulation is dependent on, that means it's metaphysically what would be the word? Lower than. One is privileged over the other, right?
Yeah.
The real world is privileged with a capital R real. And then the lower world is a lowercase r real that exists only because the first world exists.
Yes, you cannot have one without the other.
Well, you can't have one without the other.
You cannot have the lower real world.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So there's this concept in metaphysics where if one thing is dependent on another thing for its existence, it is less fundamental to capital R reality than that other thing. And there's this journey that philosophers go on to try to assess or identify what is the most fundamental thing that would constitute reality.
Yeah.
And they pretty much always just land at God.
Well, shit.
Or they claim that there is no reality.
Yeah. No fundamental reality.
Yeah, and this is sort of I think the interesting part. But if you start to go down this rabbit hole, wink wink, if you accept the premise that there is no fundamental capital R reality, but that all forms of experiences are metaphysically equal to each other, then your quote unquote reality sort of like untethers.
Yeah.
You become unfixed in space and time.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
You go down the rabbit hole that Alice goes down, and you lose your sort of ontological footing.
Your sense of self and everything that comes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just your sense of literally of what is real. Am I dreaming? If I wake up, what do I wake up into? And that's a scary place to get to as an individual person.
Yeah. And I feel like most people don't get that far down.
But when they do, it tends to take the form of like a psychologically damaged Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Like that pops out of from behind a dumpster with a knife and jacks you for your wallet.
Yeah. Someone that's, yeah. Yeah. We don't trust homeless people.
No, I saw them in the Matrix.
I saw them.
They turn into agents. They're ambassadors of the deep state.
Ambassadors of the deep state. That's crazy. Oh, man. But yeah, no, it's generally someone who's experiencing like a full psychological break, you know, or has experienced that. Or,
Yeah.
You know.
I've seen this with people who take too many psychoactive drugs.
Yeah.
Friends of mine who you can't really have rational conversations with at different stages in their lives because they are untethered.
Yeah.
They have a set of beliefs that is no longer constrained by what I consider to be reality.
Yeah. That does make that sort of conversation really hard.
Yeah. And there's no possible way to bridge realities of information disparity. There's just lived experience, and maybe if our experiences sort of match up enough times, they could come back or something. But in terms of just raw information, like data exchange, there's no way you can pull someone from their reality into yours.
No, they have to come back on their own for sure. Yeah. I had to come back on my own. I did way too much salvia when I was like 17. I truly, fully depersonalized and derealized for like 2 weeks. I thought I was not in a real thing anymore. And it was horrifying.
So how did you behave during those 2 weeks? What was your day-to-day experience?
I just pretended. I tried my very hardest to not let that get to me and just tried to act quote-unquote normal.
So you were like aware that you were in a construct reality.
Yes, I thought everyone around me and everything around me was specifically just a fake version of themselves, and that I was in a sub-reality of my own making, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, it was...
like a delusion state or something, like a...
Pretty much, yeah.
Self-imposed simulation.
Yeah, it was 100x salvia, if that means anything to you.
It does not, but
Yeah.
At what point or in what ways did your like reconvergence with reality like manifest? Like how did that feel, or what did it look like?
It was actually like, it was a very enjoyable experience to accept reality again, which makes sense, you know?
Was it like a relief?
Very much
Like
so.
feeling the
Yes.
ground under your feet after being at sea for too long?
Yes, very much so, yeah. And it was just purely time-based. Just day by day, I just would work on convincing myself that this was real, that I had not flipped into this alternative, universe, essentially. And then, just after, about 2 to 3 weeks, I finally had convinced myself to the point of being comfortable enough to not have to, like, try and tell myself. I just knowing that the people around me were real people. And they weren't nothing, weren't something that I was just creating.
Right. You're not trapped in some sort of solipsistic nightmare.
Yeah.
Where everyone is me. And I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
That's just hell.
It really was. It was a terrifying experience, to say the least.
So without having to write like a 5-page essay on it, would you say you currently feel like it's more reasonable to go with the capital R reality, foundational reality is a real thing camp? Or would you put yourself more in the all realities are lowercase r, and the universe is a Mobius strip of experiences.
Certainly the latter. I would
say. The latter?
Yeah.
You're a Mobius strip guy?
I think I'm a Mobius strip guy. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all about your own perception of it is what really makes it the most real to you and your being and your consciousness. Because if, at least in my own experience, was I had to make myself feel that was real. And until then, it wasn't.
Right. Well, I guess the question, though, is in quote-unquote reality, would you agree that you were suffering from drug-induced delusions?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
It would be fair to say that, objectively speaking, no shift in reality occurred. It was a shift in your subjective experience of your world and your own inner mind.
Yes.
Right. So in that sense,
so it would be the capital
I
R.
think the drug-based psychotic argument lends itself actually towards the capital R belief system.
Yeah.
Because it's the capital R reality that you're breaking from in order to be in a delusion.
Yeah.
Now the lowercase r Mobius strip conception of life would kind of state that your delusions were fully real in as much a way as these experiences are fully real. And it's not fair to say that objectively speaking that they were less privileged.
That's really, actually, that's rough, because it's like, when that happened, I did black out for a couple hours, and I was in this weird ether state of what I assume was just an out-of-body drug-induced experience.
Right.
What I assume, that's what I feel. But when I was gone, I was certainly not in my body compared to my own perception. And so it's it's really hard to say if that actually happened, Well,
it's certainly fair to say that your experiences actually happened. The experiences are real.
Yes.
The question is, though, could you have ever had those experiences if this bigger anchor reality didn't allow you to have them and facilitate them?
Yeah.
Or could they have come to be in some other way as well?
It's in a non-drug induced way. Yes and no,
It's crazy.
It's really it's a cyclical thing, really.
Okay, so now here's my segue from metaphysics into the other huge theme of this movie, in my opinion, free will and choice making.
Yeah.
So let's say that you want to have those experiences.
Sure.
Again. Maybe you've had them before and you want to have them again. Can you?
The exact same experience?
Right.
Is it because if...
Do you have the ability to control your mind?
To an extent, yeah. But
it's fundamentally the question at issue.
I don't think... No, I don't think so. Not through a drug-based delirium like that. Because I was already out of control the moment that I started doing that. But even in another circumstance, say it's a psychotic break, something completely separate, I don't think that you're in control of that at all.
I think this concept of control is pretty much an illusion.
Yeah.
When it comes to beliefs, actions, choices... I do believe we make choices.
Yes.
But I don't believe in this concept of a completely free, unobstructed, pure human will. Small, very simple example. I like chocolate ice cream. I did not choose to like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? It is part and parcel of my genetic code, the way that my taste buds are rearranged, and my experiences with chocolate ice cream as a child that have led me to like finding pleasure in the experience of eating it.
Yeah.
I never, ever in my life made the conscious decision to like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, of course. And it's, it's the exact opposite for me. I prefer vanilla.
Sure.
It's like I never...
Well, I prefer vanilla too, actually.
Oh,
but
really?
I like them both.
Oh, okay. Huh. But yeah, it's never...
The point is, though...
not the choice.
It's a choice matter.
Yeah.
How much of who you are as a person is a choice?
I tend to think rather little.
Me too.
I kind of think it's just the way that our atoms happen to be arranged.
Well, and like the historical context of your life.
Yeah, and
your
every
experiences
life that's come before you,
and all the people that impact you, all the external forces that act on you.
Yeah.
Form you just as much as you do. It's almost like I've never rationally been able to separate the world from the self. And like the interplay of these forces is like it's like one continuous system where I don't know, you just like I can't comprehend myself in a vacuum. What does it mean to be me if not the son of my mother, the son of my father, the brother of my sisters?
Yeah.
An American boy born in 1989.
Yeah.
I am nothing without all of these like historical identifiers.
Yeah, other than just like a single consciousness, but you can't separate that single consciousness from every identifier.
From my history and from my externalities. And like in each given moment of my life, I do have options and I make choices within those options. But they're not unlimited options.
No,
I can't make any choice.
Yeah, all of those options are set by predetermined paths that you chose further back in the line. It's just this continuous timeline of just making small choices.
Sure.
But I don't even know how much those choices, even the super small individual choices, I don't know. I'm pretty deterministic, I think, when it comes to
sort of a mechanistic worldview about the universe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's in my perception of the world. That is how I view it for sure.
I think I'm sort of the same way, except I'm non-deterministic about it. Like I do have a sort of mechanistic view of how things work on a biophysical level, but I do believe in randomness and entropy.
Yeah.
And I do believe that the presence of those things prevents determinism from being like a logical possibility. So like random chance can change outcomes and then we just like rock with it.
I understand that for sure, and sometimes I kind of flip-flop between feeling that way, but then my brain just rationalizes it by saying, well, all of that randomness and entropy was accounted for the moment that the Big Bang happened.
Well, by definition, then it would not be randomness.
Well, then I don't believe in random.
Yeah, so it's a fundamental question whether or not you see the teleology. Are you familiar with this word?
No.
It's just the concept that history has a end point and a beginning point.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can see history as being like a linear thing. It's just a matter of whether you see the teleology of the universe as being like a straight line determined from the beginning.
For sure.
Which is sort of what you just expressed. Yeah. Or whether or not you see a non-teleological set of possibilities, not all of which are going to be actualized, only some of which, actually the least amount of which will be actualized due to just what actually happens, which is probabilistic and not non-deterministic. Yeah. That's the take that I personally have.
Yeah. And that can tie into like, and I'm totally open to like the quote unquote, if there is like a linear path, I guess, of like timeline splitting. I think that that's a very possible and real thing that could be happening. Is every decision that we ever make, if we are making choices, that still happened. It's just no longer we're following it anymore.
Right. So the idea there is it's like an omniversal proposal where all possibilities happen, and you, the experiencer, are just in an experience of one particular set of pathway choices.
Yeah.
But there's an infinite number of you that are experiencing all other possible pathway choices.
Yeah. I can see that equally as this just being a straight fucking line and I'm just walking along it.
It certainly is more processor expensive on the computer running this whole thing.
It sure is. It's probably the straight line.
Well, the straight line is easier to program. I'll just
no shit. Yeah, if this is all a simulation, yeah, I'd say it's probably not the infinite possibilities, unless we're talking about computing on, quantum mechanics, because then it's a whole other fucking argument. It's like, is compute relevant at all? Because if it's irrelevant, then
irrelevant
data
compression, infinite. God's computer has all the RAM.
Fucking God's plan. I say that in every goddamn episode now. No, I also see though that this is all very limited behind my human perception, and one, I'm only experiencing things like you're saying. What's the word in a teleological view? But that's because I am this being, if I had the ability to see time, this is not,
Sure.
This is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of the equation is you are a specific thing. You're a specific way. Mm-hmm. So how could you actually be free? You are locked in.
Yeah. I am.
Right? You're locked into a set of parameters that you did not choose at your birth. Mm-hmm. Right? That's like part of the concept of the Matrix. Morpheus says to him, Neo, you are a slave.
Yeah.
To a mental prison that you did not sign up to be a part of. And I'm just here to show you the truth. How can you make free choices without the full spectrum of information, of ability, right? If you don't have the ability to fly, you can't make the choice to fly.
Yeah. So
we're not free. We are sort of limited beings.
Yeah.
That are in a specific format.
Yeah.
Right.
There's rules, there's conditions. Conditions and terms apply.
Your life and your choices are conditional
yeah.
on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things is your ideology and whether or not you're being oppressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is another major theme in this movie. The oppression is extremely clear.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it doesn't get more clear in this movie than just about anything. Yeah. What, the platform was close,
not as close as this.
Yeah.
Humans are literally in pods. They're
yeah.
plugged in, and they'll be harvested like crops by robots
grown
for their thermal energy.
Yeah.
They are just batteries. They are just objects to be used.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're not free. They're slaves.
Yeah.
Their oppression takes the form of mental slavery in the Matrix, which is
just so silly too, in some ways.
What, the Matrix itself?
Yeah,
or just the premise of the movie?
Just the premise, because I
have my problems.
Just fucking snip the cerebral cortex, and you're good. You just have batteries now that don't have to think.
Don't they have some sort of bad argument for why that doesn't work? The human body can't sustain itself without the mind.
I can't remember.
There's this whole okay, I didn't want to get into this concept really. I want to stick with oppression and ideology for a sec, but there is this whole concept of Cartesian dualism, body and mind being two separate substances that need each other.
Yeah.
They exist together but differently, independently, and you can't have one without the other, but they have to both work in harmony or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a dualist.
I don't duel.
I'm not a dualist.
I put my guns away many years ago.
Yeah. I'm actually a substance monist. It means mono being one, not two.
Yeah.
So I just believe there's only one type of thing in the universe. Fundamentally, there's not two.
Okay.
There's not physical and mental substances that somehow live by different sets of rules.
Yeah.
And can't interact, but converge. They convene on top of each other.
Yeah.
I don't believe that there's souls and spirits.
So that was going to be my next question for you. Is do you believe in a soul then? It's
And that doesn't mean I only believe in like the physical. It doesn't matter to me what the descriptor is, whether it's mental, physical. It's like a misnomer. I just think there's one fundamental substance that is in play. Mm-hmm. And experiences are, I don't know, like they're just part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to like give them some sort of like otherworldly designation.
I never have either. Yeah. Well,
but the movie does.
The movie does.
Often.
For sure.
And loudly.
But yeah, no. Back to oppression.
But
battery babies.
Battery babies. You can read this movie as an allegory for essentially just the modern economy.
For sure.
Capitalism, oppression.
Yeah.
We live in a consumer economy where our value is sort of extracted from the system on the margins, where they pay us X, they get Y. The difference between X and Y is our value. Mm-hmm. And that is, it's fundamentally exploitative the way capitalism works. If we could all own our own means of production and employ ourselves, we could do the same amount of total work without anyone being exploited.
Yeah.
But because only a small percentage of people own the means of production, they hold like this leverage position on the people that don't own it. Mm-hmm. And so then they get to take more.
They sure do. They take a lot.
Yeah. And it is fundamentally unfair. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways that those people are able to keep this system rolling is by convincing us that it's not happening.
Yeah.
Or if it is happening, it's not that bad. Or if it is bad, it's the only way the world can be.
Yeah, it could always be worse. You could have communism.
Communism. Can you imagine if everyone had a piece of everything?
Ugh.
And
gross.
we all owned all the means of production together fairly.
Want the other people to have communism?
Not just me.
No.
Yeah, so ideology is essentially the real world's, for lack of a better word, version of the Matrix.
Yeah.
Right? They convince you to believe a set of beliefs that is beneficial to them for you to maintain the status quo.
Yeah.
Whether that's the idea that you get some sort of social status from consuming higher value items and wearing them on your body and flaunting them to people without those items, or the idea that somehow your status from the way you were born naturally imparts onto you a greater value, and thus you're allowed to inherit more and occupy a more comfortable position, and that's a natural order thing, right?
It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is.
It is all a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that is also an ideological opinion.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, no, it would be stupid to deny it. I mean, it's for sure, it's not any more valid than their opinion.
No.
You know?
Well, I would say it's more moral.
Sure,
but it's not more
valid.
valid. Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
I would argue, I think successfully, for the moral defensibility of my political opinions.
Yeah.
But that's what everyone thinks.
Yes.
Unless you're like actually evil and you like know it and own it, like the guy in Fifth Element.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Zorg, you're a monster. I know.
I mean, yeah, and in that sense, it's like at least they do own it. You know, yeah. I would honestly prefer that if people were evil and just showed their face.
I've often wondered, like, what percentage of people in power positions, if you were alone in a room with them, no microphones, no cameras, there's no chance it would get out, would just cop to it immediately. Like if you pressed them on it.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of denial and justification.
Me
going
too.
On. Like a lot. I don't even know if half of them would.
Well, I think a lot of those people, through ideological programming, believe in their shit. Right? Yeah. Just the way that I do.
Yeah.
They believe in their political position, their
God-given right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And their actions line up with their beliefs, and they are consistent actors
Yeah.
in the world of economy or politics or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think you can be a morally bad person, but be philosophically consistent and non-contradictory, non-hypocritical.
Yeah.
In being a bad person. Like, that's fully possible.
Yeah, and I think it's even just like a lot more common than people realize. I don't think a lot of, well, not a lot. I don't think a good amount of people who are in those positions of power can even see it themselves, because of how heavy their programming is.
Sure. I mean, I think if you're in politics, you're aware of your ideology.
Sure.
It's just a matter of...
But not just like some 50-fucking-year-old like white Karen who's just like...
Those are the people that aren't aware.
Yeah.
Like the politicians and sort of like CEOs and stuff, they're pushing a worldview that they may or may not believe in, but one that certainly benefits them and they're entrenched in. They're pushing it with all of their resources, whether those are social influence, messaging, or financial influence. They're pushing for the world to change to tip towards their worldview.
And naturally,
that's what organisms do.
Yeah, that's the scary part, really. It's how are you supposed to combat that when it's just human nature?
The fascinating part is that there are plenty of people on Earth with ideology, and they don't know it.
Yeah.
And those are the voters.
Yeah.
Those are most of the voters.
Yeah, no kidding.
And especially the non-voters. Those are actually like mostly the non-voters and at least half of the active voters.
Yeah,
man. Are fully ideological and unaware of the extent of their ideology and their programming.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too political about it, but just the non-voting just really grinds my gears, man. It's like you're just letting it happen, and even if you want the change for in either direction, if say you're a fucking staunch Republican views, whatever, and it's back in 2007 and you didn't vote for Romney or whatever, it's like, what are you doing? Why
didn't you vote?
Why? Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they believe that it's rigged either way, that it's a mono party. Uniparty is what they call it. You get conspiratorial. You think your vote doesn't matter. And you just throw your hands up and give up. And you acquiesce to the power system's demands of you.
Yeah.
Because you just don't believe there's any other option. And that's
an ideology in itself that
it is
pushed.
Exactly. Like, those people will sit there with a straight face and tell you they don't have an ideology, that they are like an enlightened centrist, right? That they see the truth, right? They're red-pilled as fuck.
So you believe nothing.
They're non-vote red-pilled.
Literally,
right?
Dude.
Oh. And then they will sit there and try to feed you their ideology, their passive fucking...
We don't want anything to change.
Or if it changes, whatever, it's not my fight. Yeah. I'm just on this level and they're on that level and I have no power.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, dude, you are so entrenched in a belief system about power and submission.
And you don't even know it.
And you think you're wise,
you're
wiser
winning,
than me for voting. And
it's like, oh man, what really stuck that whole situation to me most recently was in the last election, when people who were so against the genocide in Gaza didn't vote. And it's
my God, yeah.
What are you talking about? Of course that's horrible. Are you happy now? You think hotels are going to be fucking better?
It's crazy, dude.
It's like...
I have family members who fit the criteria there.
Yeah.
Fit the description. I have friends who fit the description.
Yeah.
People who are so disillusioned with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's non-response and even support of Israel's actions that they were like, well, I can't vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
I won't vote for Trump. So I'm just not going to vote.
Dude.
But it's like, at the end of the day, these are different outcomes.
Yeah.
Kamala's policies will be different from Trump's, and you still have to make a choice. Your inaction does not excuse you from the outcome.
Yeah, man.
Like, if you have to hold your nose and vote for someone who will be 50% like less bad.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking agree with every goddamn policy and decision that
make an action.
Yeah, no
make
shit.
a choice.
It is so stupid, man.
I know
that shit really, really ground my gears. It like honestly tousled some friendships where I was like, man, that's dumb. Like that is nonsensical. But you know, it's all the programming.
We're at 57 minutes.
Nice.
Just wanted to check.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's programmed as fuck.
Yeah.
So we've hit the big three for me, which was free will,
yeah,
metaphysics, discussion of reality, and oppression and ideology.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty clear by the way that our conversation flowed how those things are connected, like pretty directly.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you want to touch on from the conceptual side of this movie that I didn't have in my notes?
Not really. I mean, we could dive a little deeper into the bullshit red pill side of things, but I don't even think it's really important, and it's not that connected to the movie. It's an influence from the movie and people's failure to perceive it correctly.
Yeah, it became a pop culture phenomenon, this whole thing of like waking up right from the dream, taking the red pill, and now you know more, or you know the truth, and the other people that aren't red pilled, they don't know as much as you.
Yeah.
Which you can see how that's a seductive framework for like the conspiracy theory community.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
Yeah.
Right. So it gets hijacked by the occultist thinking models. Mm-hmm. Which, like I mentioned earlier, occultist thinking is like a direct pathway to fascist thinking.
Yeah.
It allows you to other people. It allows you to reject formal institutional
science
means of verifying truth, concepts of truth, foundational reality concepts. Once you start allowing yourself the ability to reject these things and build your own narrative in place of it and start recruiting people into that narrative.
It's a really dangerous spot to be, man.
It's just fascism.
Yeah.
And when it makes its way into politics through like Pizzagate and Epstein files, and don't get me wrong when I say that, I'm not discrediting the veracity of the conspiracy in that regard.
Oh, no. Release them.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
when I say conspiracy theory, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not true. It's just a way of thinking.
Of course. It's a mindset. It's a type of person. Yeah.
So when you start getting into this, like Epstein files, Pizzagate, deep state, fake news type of framework of thinking, it allows you pretty quickly to get to a place where everyone else is your enemy.
Yeah.
Enemies are standing between you and the truth. Mm-hmm. The truth is more important than their lives. And
kill them all.
Start funding ICE.
Yeah.
And they become bigger than the IDF. And they start killing people that oppose your ideology.
Yeah, it's folks, we are going to become the bugs. You have to understand that.
You have to understand the through lines between the Matrix and Starship Troopers. You have to
They're
see
there.
this.
They're there.
It's all there. Kramer, what do I do? The fascists took over the government. I don't know what to do, Kramer.
What are you going to do? Yeah, man. So yeah, that's basically the last thing I wanted to touch up on, but I think we fucking really discussed this movie and gave it some good justice.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think if we had another hour, we could fill it, but I don't want to do that.
Nah.
We've got to
late.
cut this shit. I think it was a good, introductory talk on these types of topics, and if anyone has more to say, leave it in the comments.
Hell yeah, please.
Let us know what you think about all of the philosophical ideas.
Absolutely.
Tell us what your ideology looks like.
Are you in a Mobius strip?
Do you believe in the Mobius strip theory of sub-realities, or are you more of a big picture,
big picture
R
guy?
Thanks for sticking with us to the end.
Oh, yeah. Let's hit that like and subscribe button. Share with your family and friends. Comments. All of that shit.
Give us the 5 stars and unplug us from the matrix of our own delusions.
Hell yeah. Well,
this has been Quiet in the Back.
Unplug yourself from the matrix. Release the episode file.
We need guns, lots of guns. We're shooting up a hotel lobby, not for fun, we're on a mission, based on a vision. Cause we all believe that Neo is the one. What if he's not? We all got high, wrapped up in faith based on the oracle. A crackpot, Doza got shot, Cypher betrayed. Is this reality or is it just what your brain made? With the power of your mind, we shape shift. Is the truth one of a kind or is it a myth? With the power of belief, you take faith. Is the truth something to find or to create? Neo's an extremist, a terrorist with zeal. He disregards your worldview, says it isn't real. Claims to know the real truth, one you'll never know, because you're in a matrix of delusion and control. Crazy people say these things, religious people too. I don't see the difference, I don't know what about you. Delusion and religion and insanity abound. I believe that if you search for truth, it can be found. With the power of your mind, we shape shift. Is the truth one of a kind or